This is going to this is going to be a good podcast today. My name again is Jay Lang, and this is Behind the Music podcast, and co-host CC. I don't even know if she just want to be called CC or C or CC or I don't. Is you sure that's what you want to be called?
Yes.
Are you positive?
CC Gordon. That's me. I only have one
CG.
name. Oh no.
CG13.
CC is fine.
Oh, okay. CC. So we'll do
making
CC.
I'm
making it a little more difficult than what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. Are you sure? Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. This is my first podcast.
Okay. Tell the people who you are. Tell them.
My name is CC Gordon. I am born and raised Houstonian, and I am an avid music lover, just like Jay is. I'm a vocalist, I'm a songwriter, and I'm a creative. So that's a little bit of who I am. I'm not going to bore the people.
You're not going to bore the people.
No.
They've got to know who you are, though. Like, if they don't know who you are, then you are going to bore them because they're going to be like, who this person?
No.
That's what they're going to do.
I'm going to let my personality shine.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Like, I'm just ready to get with the topic because the topic is what?
You don't know what the topic is? Are we working together?
The topic is.
You see, this is what I'm working with, guys. This is what I'm working with the first day. So Behind the Music, guys. This is our second episode, actually. The first episode was with Rollo Robinson, which is a phenomenal artist and music and movie producer. And he was gracious enough to bless me and come on the show. And we were actually in San Antonio when we did that.
I know. I saw the episode.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
just like it was amazing just to catch up with him and say talk about some movie and music. But today I'm going to talk. We're gonna go in it today, right? So we're going to talk about breakup songs, like songs. You see how you see.
But it's hit or miss though. Because I like to ride the fence on it. There's really good, breakup songs that you just need to go through that grieving period.
Okay.
And then there's breakup songs that motivate you to be like, okay, I'm empowered. Let's move on. It's a new chapter. So it's like kind of hit and miss.
Okay. I can feel that. So what's the first song that comes to mind when you were like 12, 13 years old and your first breakup?
I don't know.
And don't say Reading Rainbow. Don't say Reading Rainbow.
No. My very first breakup song. I mean, it's really hard to decide because at that point in my life, Chris Brown was very pivotal.
Right.
And then I'm influenced by my parents' generation, like the Isley Brothers.
Right.
And,
right.
It's really really hard to pick and choose. It all depends on like what mood I'm in that moment. There's I Will Survive.
Okay.
Go on out, walk out the door. Pack up your stuff and go. But then there's also Beyonce's to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. That's empowering as well. So it all depends on the heartbreak at the moment.
So how many heartbreaks did you go through? You just had like 45 songs that you just named.
I know. Like I said, I can't just pick one.
Golly, man.
But then you get like things like Spotify that has whole playlists.
Yeah, for breakup. Yeah,
for
like
heartbreak.
For heartbreak movies. Yeah, like I remember like Boyz II Men, right? The although we go to the end of the road,
and you're sitting there with your Fritos and you just crying.
Well, during that time, it was high school for me, right? So I'm went to Trenton High, so I was that song came on. Everybody, you just sat in the hallway and just on the stairwell and you just cried it out. And your boys come down, like, yo, what's going on? Man, I'm good, yo. I'm good. Ain't nothing wrong, man. I'm all right. She broke up with you. Nah, she ain't break up with me. I left her. This is one of those things. But I do remember like certain songs that I would hear and be like, man, that really messed me up.
So let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's just open the door.
Let's open the door. I'm ready.
First heartbreak ever.
For me?
For you. Everybody.
I'm afraid. There's people in the audience right now. I'm afraid. You have no idea. I just went through an episode not too long ago, and I'm afraid.
You're afraid.
I'm afraid. I'll tell you about it on another time. I'm afraid. They're laughing right now, but I'm afraid not to.
I mean, but we never forget our first heartbreak.
No, well. So I guess my first heartbreak, right? I ain't gonna say her name because this is gonna go out. No,
Oh yeah.
yeah, this is
No.
gonna go out. And I don't want to say her name, but and I don't want to put her on blast or anything like that. But during that first heartbreak, I was listening to Faith Evans' album.
Oh.
Soon as I get home, and like I was like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I don't want to ever listen to this again. You don't put on Faith Evans ever again.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was like during that time, that was a song, right? And I know that really wasn't like a heartbreak song, but it reminds me of the heartbreak. And one of the great things about music, right? Music makes you remember, it makes you forget, it makes you excited. You know what I mean? It does a lot of different things. So, that for me, I guess that was my first real heartbreak because, I love Faith Evans. Like that was during that Bad Boy era. We won't talk about Bad Boy era right now because everybody in trouble with, well, not everybody. But anyway, like I said, like that was during that time for me, those were the songs.
Right.
That I also mentioned Dave Hollister in the last episode, but there were some Dave Hollister songs that I would listen to, and you know what I mean? Like it just makes you like, I don't want to do this again. you remember like, man, when you cry and you have those like, those type of cries that you hyperventilate. She left me. Like, and so in those songs, I don't even want to hear them again because I guess it was just that gut wrenching. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, music has a tendency to do that because it's we make as humans emotional attachments to things.
Right.
So, I mean, I think my first heartbreak had to be in high school. And the guy that I was with, it was back in that point in time where a lot of people came down from New Orleans or came up from New Orleans from Katrina. Mm-hmm. Me and this gentleman made a very quick relationship, and I mean we were thugging it out, but it broke my heart when he had to go back home. So I remember sitting in my living room crying in my dad's lap over this guy. And I mean, like I said, it was my very first heartbreak. I didn't know how to deal with it. And my dad literally, as a father, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was hard for him too, because this is his baby girl just crumbling. Like, what do you do? What do you say?
Let my daughter tell me that.
Right.
We live, baby. Daddy got a few. Never mind.
But I mean, as a father seeing that, I mean, I just, it's not a heartbreak song, but for some reason, just the Pussycat Dolls song "Stick With You" just stuck with me.
Right.
So nowadays, when I hear that song, it immediately
takes you back to the.
It immediately launches me back into that memory.
Right.
And I mean, that's a song that I really can't. I have to be in the right mindset when that song comes on my playlist. It's a love-hate relationship with that song.
Right.
So,
and I agree because like I was saying earlier, like there's songs I would hear and be like, turn, fast forward. Matter of fact, X, you're not even getting a heart. You're getting I wish they had like a slash that you could just put on there.
Yeah, there's a thumbs down that you could just completely take it out of your playlist now.
Can you? Because I don't think I can do that on my Apple playlist.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I got a thumbs down. It's just a hard or not.
You can.
See, I don't,
there's a lot of songs that I got on my Spotify where I just can't do it because it brings such a vulnerable memory.
Right.
And I mean, when that song comes up, you gotta kind of relive.
So you think? So let me ask this question then. So do you think like psychologically, like music attaches itself to certain things and certain senses of
100%? Because just like we're talking about heartbreaks, let's kind of talk about happy moments as well, because you can't have the good without the bad.
Right.
I think for us, like me as a female, we're so emotionally connected. Like, let's talk about weddings. Like our first songs,
Oh
like
gosh.
like our first songs as husband and wife. You know what I mean? And now every time that we hear that song on the radio, if it's a popular song or on our playlist, it immediately jolts us back into that first thing.
Right.
But like I said, you can't have the good without the bad. When that happy couple is now not a happy couple and they divorce,
Ooh.
and you hear that song, you know what I mean?
That one song that's always at every wedding.
Oh,
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Jesus.
what, CeeLo Green? Oh, I see you driving around. I mean, but it's such
Forget you, girl.
it's such an emotional like thing. Music is just emotionally
Right.
involved. I mean, just all the way down to the artist. What was the artist thinking about when they made
And
that?
you know
as
what?
well?
That is always a thought, right? Like, because even with some artists, right, when they write and they create, sometimes they have other writers,
Right.
right? And they have ghostwriters who are writing for them, and they, or they may have an idea about a song, but don't really know how to write the song out because they never really went through that
Right.
situation, right? But then here comes that writer and be like, "Oh, I got something for you. Listen, that I got it."
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they actually went through it, and I think that becomes the more powerful. That becomes much more powerful when you're writing, right? Because it's not just the beat. It's not just the rhythm of the song. It's not just the melody, and all that makes the song, right? But it's also what's behind the music, which is those words, right? Those words are powerful,
Right.
and depending on who's listening and what time and what day and who's going through what and who said what to who, like those words mean a lot.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I agree with you. Like, what was that writer going through, or when did they go through it?
Right. And even if the artist that's singing it hasn't been through that, psychologically, they have to kind of
convey it, right?
convey it. And you're talking, and I'm hearing you. The one thing that I can honestly say that portrays that to the audience is there's a movie called Cadillac Records where Beyonce is Etta James and she's singing the song, and it's still not hitting. And I think his name is Len Goodman.
I ain't watching the movie. So.
He comes into the studio and she goes, "I'm not woman enough for this song." He goes, "That's right. You're not woman enough for this song. Like, the song is talking about this man that you love is walking another broad down the aisle. How would that make you feel?" And that scene in that movie is so pivotal and so emotionally gut-wrenching that the next take after he talks to her, you feel that emotion.
Right.
And it's something that she's never, the character has never been through, so on and so forth. But then she places herself in those shoes and you see it depicted through her emotion
Her
on
emotions, right.
screen. But most importantly, you feel it through her voice. And it captivates an audience.
Right.
So, I mean, that's one of the scenes as you're talking, I can openly express that moment is what music is.
Right. And I totally agree. Like, you can't, when you're thinking about music and the emotions of music, right? And the emotions of the lyrics, especially when we're talking about breakup songs, right? Like when you're talking about that, like those words and those lyrics and the way that it is expressed means so much more. Because it can be a song that's not very popular, right?
Right.
It doesn't even have to be a popular song, but it can be a song that you just hear, you like,
I relate.
yeah. And you just put that thing on rewind. Because I remember just, and I'm telling, listen, guys, I am on the A side of the tech deck.
Oh,
Yeah, on the A side. I'm not that old where I use not 8 tracks. There you go. I didn't use 8 tracks, but I did use tapes. And on the A side,
Oh, the cassette.
man, that thing got worn down so much I had to put another. You had to open it up and rewind it.
With the pencil.
And you gotta make sure it's the eraser side on it too,
Right.
Because they ain't gonna fit on any other side. You gotta make sure the eraser side. But like, I remember that just hitting rewind and then push and play again on my
Because in
Panasonic
that-
radio. Just every
in
time.
that moment, it's relatable. and us as humans, we want somebody to relate to us, especially during those down times.
Right.
You know, if we're down, we just want somebody to relate.
Right.
We want somebody to feel what we feel and just kind of, you know, like express what I'm feeling without me having to open my mouth.
Right.
You know, and I mean, I give it to the Isley Brothers. I give it to, you know, the Mariah Careys out there and the Beyoncés who have, you know, put out these emotions and been so vulnerable,
Right.
so that us as normal people can
actually
something.
have an access to release, right?
Right.
An access to release. Like, so funny you said you keep mentioning Isley Brothers, because I love the Isley Brothers. Like, first off, what musician does not love and singer love nothing? I mean,
What the hell is going on?
I was just listening. I was just hearing. We are here, lady. We are
Between
here.
the sheets in my home.
He was like, "No, how you know my name, son?" I'm just like, "Yeah, bro. How do you know his name? And why you in this room with him? Man, you lucky he ain't." You know what I mean?
Yes.
But again, the emotions. I mean, can you imagine walking into something like that?
But how
Like,
many people have really been in that situation?
I don't know. I haven't been in that situation because right now I'm here and not in jail. So I have not been there. So I don't know what to tell you. I've never been there, but I'm sure people who are watching this right now, wherever you are in the world, that may have, you know, went through that. And if you did, my condolences, guys. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know how I don't
but
know.
in the comment section, I'm just kind of, how did
You ever seen that movie Misery? Man, listen, I will
Kathy
be that.
Bates?
I will be that lady. I will be that lady. You're gonna have a big 2x4. Never mind.
breaking ankles? No.
And not through the basketball. I'm
But
just
see,
saying.
I'm the type of person that I would just rather walk away. I'm not gonna lose myself. I'm not gonna lose my character.
No, I mean, all jokes aside, yes, that walking away is the best thing to do, even though it's a very hard thing to do.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll be able to walk away right away. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. What I do know is eventually I will.
Right.
Eventually.
But also, I'm not
After a few minutes.
wanting to be the person that's that passive person, but I would rather walk away before I lose my character.
Oh, my character's already gone. Like, it's already gone, bro.
But in the heat of the moment, I mean, words will be exchanged, but when I get at the end of the day, for me to just take a step back and be like, reevaluate myself,
Right.
we do have the music
Right.
to come back on. That's relatable.
Right. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, when we were talking about breakup song, and again, I literally was just listening to that song the other day. Literally just listened to that other song the other day. Like, I was turning on and when I was at work, you know, riding around, and I was like, man, let me put on some R. Kelly. Now,
Oh,
I know. As soon as you say
That-
R. Kelly, as soon as you say R. Kelly, you're like, you did what? How dare you? Listen, Art, I got to give it
but
to.
hey, if you put on "Step in the Name of Love" at any wedding, R. Kelly is out the window.
Yeah, they ain't gonna think about nothing else. They're gonna be like, "Step in the name of love."
Okay.
Step in. You know what I mean? They just gonna two step, right? But I was like, let me listen to some, because I'm one of those guys. I love all types of music, right? But then
Right.
there's just certain types of music that I just need to listen to, right? Whatever how my day is going, and not that I was listening to breakup music or anything like that, but I put on some like R&B, and sure enough, first it was Mary J. Blige. You know, Mary always talked about some breakups.
Ooh.
Always talking about some breakups, right? But Isley Brother came on and with that song, and I was just like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, man, I gotta put this on repeat.
And
Man,
you hear the creak of the
No,
door.
yeah. What you doing here, girl? I mean, just. But again, those songs are just like, man, like it. Yeah, it reminds you. It literally reminds you of when you know, the breakups, the hardships of relationships, right? Because those relationships, and we were young then, right? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best relationship ever. I'm never gonna leave y'all, and this blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden,
the little notes
Yeah,
that you
you-
pass in class that you fold.
would you like to be my girlfriend?
Yes or no.
No, we ain't put yes. We just put why. /N. I couldn't spell well. So just
You couldn't spell yes? You
I
couldn't
just put
spell yes?
/N. No, I could spell yes.
But see, I was one of those girls in school that I would put name, date, song at the time.
Oh, listen, I would have been like,
the page
please, nobody's reading this, ma'am.
The page was halfway done before I even got to the message. If I could look up or find any of my old like love letters or anything, I will bring it in so I could show you on the show. Back then, we had like little intricate ways that we origami. We would fold them into hearts, fold them into little envelopes where you pulled the little. Oh, let me tell you, we was creative.
Yeah, that's because we didn't have cell phones.
Exactly.
That's because we had no choice but to be creative. How am I gonna get this girl attention? You know what? I'm gonna make this into a frog, and so I'm gonna fold it into a frog, and I'm just. Here you go, girl.
In computer lab.
It just hopped over to you, girl. This right there, girl. Look, come on. And then then all of a sudden you get declined.
Oh my goodness, yes. That's the worst part. Like you put in all this work and effort, and then all of a sudden you get that.
Well,
no.
During that time, boys are. I'm sure a lot of guys are still like this, but during that time, I ain't care. Like, I didn't want you anyway. I just wanted to see. I see nobody was dating you, so I was just gonna try to date you anyway. But nah, that's all right. Feelings hurt. My feelings was hurt.
All of them. Every single feeling.
So since we're talking about relationships, it was one female in particular. Her name was Rosa. I ain't gonna say her last name, but her name was Rosa. And man, I swore up and down. This was the girl for me.
Oh,
you talking about writing letters, man? I was writing journals. I was writing documentaries. I was doing all types of stuff.
Novellas.
Right, man. Listen, when you think you read, man, it just brings out the inner goodness of you. You're like, well, I didn't know I can write like this. Oh, my penmanship is magnificent.
Thespian. You were a thespian, a wordsmith.
I was like, I'm gonna tell this girl. Listen, girl, it was nothing in the world you would never ever blah 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 blah. Baby. Listen, real rap. That's when Jodeci was out too, like real rap. So that's when Jodeci was, especially actually JoJo and KC, right?
Yes.
So. And I'll never forget this, right? Me and my cousin, because, I draw, right? I'm into the arts, right? And so me and my cousin knew, he was like, man, just write her a letter. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm going to write this letter. And both of our names are Jermaine, but they call him J Cook, and they just call me Lil J. So I'm writing this letter. He said, you know what you need to do, too? On the envelope, draw a picture. I said, you know what? That's a good idea. Start doing all the things.
Not him gassing you up.
He like, yeah, man, go ahead, put that, man. Hey, they gonna love that, bro. Because he was like 4 or 5 years older than me. He was like 16, and I'm preteens. He's like, yeah, man, go ahead, do that. I'm not gonna do that. Man, got my heart broke.
Oh.
She broke my heart, big time. That song that was on repeat. Rewind.
Was that her?
I'm done.
I don't want to love no more.
I hate women. I do. I love them, but I hate them. Like, never going through this again.
See, and I hate to be that person, but I was always the girl in school that got the letters. And I hate to be that person, but I got the letters. And I mean, as a kid in high school, I was just kind of like, okay, who am I going to take my pick? But the funny thing is it's also, I had all these options. As a girl that always has options, I also had my eyes set on a particular, someone.
Right.
But similar, I got denied.
What?
And I'm like, if I have all these options and all these people want me, how come you don't want me?
That's why.
I don't know.
Although we go till the end.
And you know what? It's so funny because looking back on it, I'm just like, there's somebody for everybody.
Right.
And at that point in time, we weren't for each other.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it is what it was.
Yeah,
but I didn't go to that extent.
Oh, I did. I went all out.
Poetry.
I went all out. I went all because again. So for me, even after that, excuse me. Even though I was always in music, I always played. Played in churches, and I started off with drums anyway with churches. But then once I got to high school, that's when my popularity kind of came up a little bit because I was singing. And you could be the ugliest dude in the world,
but the moment that you pick up a
you
microphone,
open up that phone, oh my gosh, he can sing! I was just like, oh. So here I am singing. We were singing. What's that? Tell me what you want. We were singing all types of stuff in school.
Right.
To the point it was just like, and that's when the females for me was like, "Hey Jay, I'm blah blah blah." Now I got options, and I'm like, I don't like none of y'all, but we'll talk.
Right.
Forgive me, Jesus.
But musicians have it like that, Like, I think when we hear, as a female, when I hear a man with a good voice, we kind of perk up, So why not?
But still, and then like I said, and then more heartbreaks started happening for me, and then again, that one particular person I was talking about before that I didn't mention no names. Because I'm pretty sure they will view this and see it. And I'm never going to tell them what their name was. But
right.
I had that Faith Evans album. I knew every song, every lyric, every beat. I was even able... Listen, I can tell you, when I broke down the album...
You said Faith Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I think my Faith Evans was probably Keisha Cole.
I can see that.
Keisha Cole was probably my album.
Yeah. I wasn't a real... I love the way she sings. I do. But I wasn't a real big Keisha Cole fan. Like, I just Faith Evans was my girl. Brandy.
Oh, let's talk
and
about
I loved
it.
me some Monica.
Brandy
Lord
and
Jesus,
Monica.
I loved some Monica.
I'm just waiting for Brandy to come out with another album. Like, come on, girl. You still got it. I know her and Monica. Like,
I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna have to call my boy. Matter of fact, we're gonna have to get my boy up here. His name's Isaac. I know he done some production for Brandy, so we need to get him up on here and talk about some stuff because
I would love to hear Brandy's voice again.
Oh, so I was told that Brandy is very meticulous when it comes down to her vocals and stuff, and the stuff that she comes up with is just incredible. So I'm sure.
Look, Brandy. Have You Ever by Brandy still has me by
really?
Like, that was the
but
one
you know my joint
that
was again because I love Brandy and I love Monica. I just love the way Monica voiced it. I loved her style. Like when she first came out, and you know how you had those when you were younger and you had those artists you just like, that's my wife or that's my boyfriend. Well, I never said boyfriend. I said wife, but you know what I mean.
But no,
you know
relatable, yeah.
Right, relatable. You be like, I'm marrying her. That was just, she was one of them, and then it was Aaliyah. Then
Aaliyah.
It was Aaliyah. Yeah. But my joint was with Brandy and Monica, the Boy Is Mine track. Mm-hmm. Like that was, that was just a joy for me. You know what I mean? But breaking up, man, I'm telling you, like some of those songs you be hearing, you be like, man, I wasn't even thinking about that person.
Right.
And it just like snaps you into that. Back into that date, that time, that era.
Like, I'm getting misty-eyed just thinking about it. Like, it's
don't
like
cry.
Opening...
We're on the podcast, man.
No, this is my first podcast.
Oh gosh, you're gonna cry, guys.
But no, it opens up old wounds.
Right.
But I mean, that's something that we just have to get through.
But
and we have good music.
Right.
To make it through.
Right. So do you go? So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a personal question.
Oh.
Right here on podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So so after you have this breakup song that causes you to be like sobbing your misery of loss, right?
Yeah, because there's a grieving period.
Right. So you go through your grieving period. Do you have another song that brings you back, and then you be like, forget that song?
I mean, yeah,
Have you?
not really. I'm more of a yes, let me go through this grieving period, and then as my whole like music genre is just so eclectic, to get me out of that headspace, I immediately go to like Green Day or something. Like, I know, completely different, because I'm a rocker at heart. I love Blink 182.
I mean, no,
Green
granted.
So in order to like jolt me out of that, R&B, or that sultry feel, like get me in my feels, I need something that just like, let's just jump into a cold bath.
So you want to just jump in the mosh pit?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Just get me out of it completely, totally. So, I mean, I don't really have that come out of it song. I just go for the hard stuff. Like, give me the liquor. Like, don't give me no frou-frou, umbrella.
Get me drunk, please.
Get me straight to the whiskey.
Get me to the tequila and the peanut butter whiskey.
Okay. But, I mean, I need that jolt.
Right.
I'm that type of person that, yes, I've grieved. Yes, I've got through it, but I need a slap in the face.
Right.
So, but whenever I come to, I mean, give me the pop, give me the Bruno Mars, give me the Taylor Swift,
I'm not a Swiftie fan. Sorry. Oh, God. I am not a Swiftie fan.
I am a Swiftie.
I mean, I think some of her music is pretty good. But I'm not a Swiftie fan. I'm not down. I would listen to, and I'm probably, somebody gonna probably get mad at me. I would listen to Miley Cyrus before I would listen to Taylor Swift. I love me
some Miley Cyrus.
I would listen to Miley Cyrus first.
So The Climb by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
If I had to choose a song, The Climb would probably
be that song.
Would probably be that song.
Yeah, I would rather listen to Miley before I listen to Taylor. And I think the reason why is because, and it's kind of off the subject of breakup songs or whatever, but I think because the ruggedness of Miley Cyrus, like she has a rugged style about her, even though she just does.
Well, look at her dad, Billy Ray.
Break it hard. I just
talking about breaking heart.
Understand.
Her dad is Billy Ray,
right?
The king of that song. And look at her godmom, Dolly Parton.
I mean,
Dolly Parton.
Everybody loved Dolly.
Right. But she, Dolly Parton was sleeping next to her husband, and her husband's talking about Jolene, and just hearing Jolene, that's also a heartbreak song.
Right.
So, I mean, Miley Cyrus is only destined to be Miley Cyrus because look at
who she's around, right?
Influenced by.
Right. Her yeah, so, I agree. I agree with that. Maybe that, I don't know, but I would rather listen to her than listen to Taylor Swift. And again, none against Taylor Swift.
I'm a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. Now, I am an old Taylor Swift fan more
versus the new one. Versus the new
one.
Style of what's going on.
Because look, even to this day, if I just hear the lyrics, Romeo, save me, take me somewhere we could be alone. I'm sorry, I'm jumping in wherever I'm at. I am a kid at heart. I am jumping.
Oh, you gonna be like off the movie White Chicks?
Yes.
When there's all this like,
that's
take
me.
Me away from town, walking fast.
That's me, but it's the nostalgia of
right,
it.
Right.
So of course I'm gonna jump around and be a girl.
Right.
And I mean, you don't have this. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys.
Yeah, I'm not a girl.
You guys have y'all's girly moments. I'm pretty sure there is a song out there where you guys are in the comfort of y'all's own home. Hold on. And y'all have y'all's Terry Crews moment where that song comes on and y'all like, oh, let me close the door. That guilty pleasure where y'all are just I'm sure y'all have it.
No, listen.
I'm sure.
If there are some men out there that do that,
you don't.
Please comment on this page, please. I want to know. I want to know who. We need to talk. I want to know who.
There's got to be a guilty pleasure song that you have in your arsenal that you're not gonna be like, nah, I ain't gonna admit to that. But it comes on in your AirPods or your headphones, or you're in the car by yourself, and it just comes on, and you're just like, ooh, that little.
I don't know.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Maybe it's because because I'm just.
I mean, I'm free spirited when it comes to music, right? Like I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I ain't gonna sing that song because I'm a guy, or I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, yo, that's a dope song, and I'll sing it. Like I will if it's good music is good music to me across the board, right? Mm-hmm. But for guys, we don't really. Yeah.
You don't have that one little song?
No.
Really?
No. I mean, we have songs that we'll be like, yo, remember this song? And we'll come up with it, sing it and be like, yo, that was, remember, it brings back like the memories of being, a young boy and, what I mean, just doing stupid stuff but for us to be like, oh, that's my jam. And we just like, no, that does not happen.
I'm just saying, I was just asking, each person is different.
Not the guys that I know and the crew that, no, I've never. Mm-mm.
You don't have
I'm sure there are. Comment below. I'm sure there are, but no.
Yeah, comment that one guilty pleasure song. I mean, and I could be completely wrong, I'm fine with that.
You know what? I don't think you're wrong. I think I also believe it might be from a cultural perspective too, right? Like from my culture, I'm from Jersey. Like everything is hardcore. You know what I mean? So like we were on Wu-Tang, Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like that was.
Hey, look.
That's where I grew up with. And so like even growing up with that, right? And then becoming my own person. And then not being afraid to listen to other music that wasn't hardcore.
Right.
Without feeling like I'm a punk.
Right. And see, with me growing up in my background, I'm born and raised Houstonian, and I'm from a very diverse family. Me listening and being an avid lover of rock, like the Green Day, the Blink-182, I was acting white. You know what I mean? So a lot of my music growing up, I was supposed to, because of the color of my skin, I was supposed to get into rap and heavy R&B. But I mean, like I said, I agree with you. It's all depends on
I think it's the culture. I think it's were you how you were raised, how your parents and your family around you, what was the most, what was influential for them, you know what I mean? So for me, in my household, and I was in a single family, well, I was single, no, my mom, raising all of us, but all we listened to was hip hop and R&B, like Hot 97 or Power 99 and all that stuff. And I know y'all don't know nothing about that because that's all up Jersey stuff, right? Jersey and Philly. But that's what we listen to. And I remember, I lie to you not, right? I remember that song, Feeling Hot, 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 you ever remember that song?
Yes.
I forgot what.
Not Harry Belafonte.
No, I forgot what's the name?
You got me feeling hot, hot, hot.
So I remember I heard that song, right? I heard that song.
Was it on the radio or was it something
it was on the radio.
Oh my God.
So I was turning the channel on the radio and I heard that song. I was like, oh, I like this.
Jamming.
Bro, I'm like, feeling hot, 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 feel it. And then I caught myself like,
see?
What?
No, but that makes me back to my point. You got lost in the music.
Well, right. Well, I'm a musician. So
right.
of course I'm going to get lost in the music. And then I started going into like B-52. Like listen to those songs, and then Green Day, and then Kiss, and then like my list of
your flavor palette.
Right. It started like going. It started building a little bit more. You know what I mean? And again, those songs that you would hear, for instance, remember the movie Mannequin?
Yes.
There was a song on Mannequin that every time it came on, like the emotions will rise. And I forgot the name of the song, but it was I'm gonna figure it out. And when I figure it out, I'm gonna put it on under the post. But it just made me like, why is this song making me want to cry?
Because it's that emotional attachment.
Right.
It's that emotional attachment.
Right. And I think I was going through some stuff during that time, even though I was a kid. Like I was just going through different stuff. Like, but and to hear it, it's just like that hyperventilate.
and here's something that my guilty pleasure, And this is one genre that we have not touched on yet.
I'm with it. Let's go.
I'm a theater kid. So musicals really have like a really strong like grip on me. So hearing Phantom of the Opera, like even nowadays, if I hear Phantom of the Opera, as in sleep he sang to me, I'm just like captivated. You know what I mean? I'm captivated. And let's not talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda with Hamilton.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hamilton's wife. What she had to deal with. Like there's a song in the musical Hamilton where she is burning like love letters because, Hamilton just came out that he had, an affair
Right.
in a Reynolds pamphlet. And just hearing, Mrs. Hamilton's perspective on that, it's gut wrenching. Like I'm getting emotional.
Right.
Just speaking about it. But even musical theater has that same emotional attachment. It's just depicted on stage.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm a theater kid. I mess with musicals.
So I did not get into the theater music until a little later in high school. Once I became a drummer for the art symphony, right? So I was playing timpanis. You know what timpani drums are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kettle drums, timpanis. So I remember, I remember playing these drums, right? Like I'm actually playing the drum set.
Wait. Wait.
Yo.
Were you rocking out on the timpani?
I was rocking out on timpanis.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you, so this is what made a big transition and a big influence on me when it came to music and emotionally, right? Because like, again, I grew up playing in the Baptist church, playing in the Pentecostal church, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everything was different, playing drums and playing piano and playing keys and organ and all that stuff, right? So when I get to high school and I really start digging into how to play and what to play, and when I started getting to the drumming aspect of it in high school, being in the wind ensemble and the symphony, I played the kettle drums or the timpanis. And I'm like, how can I connect? Right? It was like, how do I connect with the drums here? Because to me, this is whack. Like that's right. Because again, culturally, right? Culturally, I wasn't taught how to play Light Eternal on a classical music. That's, you know what I mean? I wasn't taught to play Beethoven and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But even though I wind up learning how to play these things, right? I learned how to play Beethoven. I learned how to play Light Eternal and all these other classics, right? And so for me, it was trying to make the connection, not just the music, but the connection to the song, to make the feel of the song come out. So we was at NYU at a competition, right? So we're playing Light Eternal, actually. We were playing Light Eternal, and after like measure 50 something, there's a solo for the timpanis.
Oh. You played your little heart out.
Yo, I was on that joint like, and like it was funny because for me, I'm jamming. Like I'm playing classical music, right? But in my head, I think I'm playing like hip hop, R&B, the whole nine. Because I'm just in my brain, I'm like, I'm jamming out. Man, we won the competition, right? And the judges, one of the judges comes to me. He says, "Young man, well, let me ask you a question." Sure, bro. Because the judges during that, especially during that time, the judges in the classical music, they were just different. It was just different, right?
Right, the caliber.
Right, the caliber of people just different, and I wasn't used.
And we had UIL and everything growing up,
right? But I was not used to that type of caliber of musicians,
right?
From that spectrum of the music world, right? So he comes up to me, he's like, "All right, I got a question for you." Because I've never seen anyone dance while they're playing the timpanis. Never. That was the first time. And it was crazy because normally when you play those drums, go watch any symphony.
Right.
Like,
You
they're
have a
like this.
Yes.
It's a very technical and very just is precise, right?
Yes.
Not this guy.
He was
Not this
feeling
guy.
it.
This guy was like, like I'm jamming, like I'm playing some timbales or some. Like I'm playing some steel drums or something. Like I was just zoned out, right?
Right.
And he was intrigued.
I was just about to say, no matter what you were doing in that moment, that judge locked in on you.
Right.
He was intrigued by
He
you.
was intrigued.
Right.
And he was like, man, I felt the music. Like I felt your passion for music. And I think that's the thing when we're talking about just even with the breakup songs, right? Is we're feeling that passion in those songs and those lyrics, right? We're feeling that. And like you said earlier, like when somebody is singing it, they're conveying, they're painting that picture, right? Mm-hmm. And I say it all the time when I'm teaching vocals to people. Like when you're singing, you are painting a picture. You are the artist. You have a blank canvas, which is the people that is listening. Mm-hmm. And you're throwing paint out and creating this masterpiece so people can actually watch what you're painting.
Right.
You know?
But the funny thing about it is, no matter what you're painting, when you turn that canvas around to show the people, they see their own masterpiece in it.
Right.
And that's what, music is so universal across the board. People are going to paint their own picture with whatever, we as creators create. They're going to paint their own picture, and that's what makes it beautiful. And that's what extends beyond, ourselves as artists. So, I mean, I agree. With every brushstroke, everybody kind of relates to it differently.
Right. Yeah. That's why I want to be like JT. Cry me a river.
Hey,
yeah.
I love me some good Justin Timberlake. I also love me some good NSYNC. I also love me some good Backstreet Boys.
I don't even remember any Backstreet Boys songs.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't know if NSYNC was just the better group during that time.
They kind of ran over them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
not a lot of people like.
I mean, I remember Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Who?
Oh, did she just say who?
I remember B2K.
Yeah,
I remember Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, okay. All right. What I mean, 112.
Oh, 112.
Jodeci.
D12. I mean, yeah.
Who else? Oh, talking about breakup songs and love songs. What was that joke's name? I can't think of their name.
Don't look at me, because I'm not in your head.
Like I see them, but I can't think of the name. When it comes to me, I will say it.
Hum it.
I can't.
Oh, it completely lost.
Like it completely lost. Like, yeah. And they were a group that everybody loved too. They were like, I think they were from H-Town. Wasn't they called H-Town?
What?
They were called H-Town, I think.
H-Town. Young Boys?
Who was the ones that said somebody rockin' knocking my boots? What was that?
Somebody rockin' knocking.
They were from H-Town, right?
I don't know. Don't get me to lying.
Man, we're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but if I'm not right, put it down in the comments.
Yeah, there's gonna be people.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like, "You're wrong, sir. You better know your music." No, but yeah, I think it was them. I think that's who they were called.
I mean, here's to all the boy groups and the girl groups.
Yeah, but like I said, even when we're talking about, because I've never experienced it.
Because look, back in the day, B5, I jammed to some B5.
Yeah, I didn't jam to B5.
B2K.
Dum dum dum. That was just the only song I ever played. Dum dum dum.
Oh man, I had posters on my wall lined up. I was
I think
one of those
everybody back then
girls.
had posters. I think if you didn't have a poster on your wall,
I was
like you
that
weren't
girl.
you weren't listening to music.
I had posters lined up with all the boy bands, and then if this band succeeded that one, or if a girl group came up, I mean Danity Kane. I had Danity Kane's poster.
Do
on
you
my
remember?
wall.
Do you remember the girl group name that Missy Elliott was in?
No,
Yeah. So when she first came out, she was in a girl group.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I
The
always
more you know.
I always know Missy Elliott is just being,
No,
just
she was in a
bad
girl.
by herself.
She was in a girl group. She was in a girl group.
Not know that. You go have me go back.
Matter of fact, I'm about to put this out on there, right? Dr. Dre.
Okay.
He was on the album on his group. It was a girl and 3 guys. Yup. Sure.
You gonna make me go back and just whip out the
Yep.
vault.
This is before Dr. Dre became like
Dr.
the man. Like, yeah. And it was like a love song.
You gotta,
It was
but
like
you gotta start somewhere.
yeah, it was like I forgot the name of the song, but yeah, he was on his album. Yeah. And it was called Before You Turn Off the Lights, Thinking One Thing Understood. You ever heard that song? Yeah. That he was on that. He was on the album. If you look at the album cover, you'll see him on there.
Okay.
It's like they're like
Have me like
in black and white.
I'm gonna go do my research.
Yeah.
I love hearing about different things that
Yeah.
I ain't never heard. So
Yeah. I mean, there's still stuff I've never
Missy
heard. but-
Elliott, Dre. I mean,
Yeah, Missy
I
Elliott.
got
Yeah,
homework.
Missy Elliott was in the group. She was in the girl group, I forgot the name of the song, but they were like on top of the roof, and they were just getting it in, bro.
The same with I saw a video on Facebook where the R&B.
Listen, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see man, the choreographer, and I know we're talking about breakup music, but as soon as you said that though, like choreography for like groups back then, some of them had it. They were on point. Some of them
Untouched.
was really on point. You'd be like, I want to learn that. All right, can't even dance, but I'm gonna learn this that.
Can you picture us in the clubs though?
No, I
Us
can't
trying
picture me in no ma'am. I can't picture me in no
What
club.
was in the
I mean, I
clubs,
can
we had
dance,
like our
but I'm not
business
doing it.
casual attire back in the day.
Man, me and my boy, true story. So my boy Will, his cousin, and it was somebody else. So we go to a club up in Philly, right? And we were like, cool, we're gonna go up to Philly. We're gonna go ahead and go to this club. I forgot the name of the club. It wasn't Club Shampoo. It was Club.
Shampoo.
Yeah, it was called. There's a club called Club Shampoo in Philly, and then there's another club, Club Adrenaline. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because it was on Columbus Ave. Anyway, so we on there. So we in there, and this is how you know we were like in the early 2000s or late 2000s. Like we had we had the sweats. Remember the sweatsuits that were like
Yes.
the fuzzy ones,
Oh,
like
the velvet. Not the crushed velvet.
We had the velvet.
The Cheetah Girl tracksuits.
Yo, we had the velvet joints, and mine was like a powder blue joint.
Oh my god.
So I had the powder blue joint with the white shirt, you know what I mean, and the white hat, ball cap.
Fresh.
Bro,
Couldn't tell
you couldn't tell
nothing.
me jack. Couldn't tell me jack. I had the shell tops on too. You ain't telling me nothing.
He's fresh
Bruh,
out of City Tree.
Bruh, listen. Bruh.
Fresh.
So we up in the club, man. And so I'm that type of dude, especially during that time. I'm that type of guy that like I'm not paying $10 to get in the club, and I'm gonna stand against the wall.
Right.
Like that was just a norm. Like everybody go in the club and they just stand against the wall, blah blah. So me and my boy, I was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna start dancing, and I'm just gonna grab any girl hand I see and I'm gonna just start dancing. And he was like, bet, let's go. So we went there, pulled the girl hand, and started dancing, and all of a sudden, here come all the other guys trying to bump in between us and dancing. We almost got in a fight that night.
Oh no.
Yeah, we almost got in a fight that night. After that night, we went again. But after the second time, after the fourth and fifth time we went to that club, I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm done. Like this is not my life. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not the business for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now you can't even catch me out the house after 8. Like, just ain't happening. Just ain't happening. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, but
we've talked about breakup songs like in the sacred space of our own private lives. But have you ever been in a club when, like you said, Mary J. Blige comes on, or Keisha Cole comes on, and it's that song, and just everybody's energy, everybody's like, yeah, fuck him and screw her and da 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 da, and they're on the same energy.
Yeah,
It's
you know what?
relatable.
Yeah, it's crazy because you know what, like, you go to those clubs and then like, especially when it's female driven, right? Because you go to the clubs, the girls get in for free until whatever time, and
11.
the dudes got to, and dudes see trifling. That's what I'm gonna call you right now, trifling.
We get it free.
The
Thursday nights is ladies' night
See, this is the
at Price Drink.
Pray for her, guys. Pray in the name. Anyway, and we still got to pay, right?
Right.
But they throw on those songs that just be male bashing. Oh my god!
And y'all just have to like. I'm sorry.
I mean, every dude in there is like, "Well, I just want to dance anyway. I don't care. They ain't talking about me. She don't know me." Yeah,
Right.
But it happens though. It does happen. But those breakup songs, man, are like just they hit a different way. You know what I'm saying? They really do hit a different way. It makes you be like, I don't forget them. I don't ever want to talk to them again. Or you hear the name, yeah. You'd be like, you know what? Yeah.
There's still certain names I can't hear, and I'm just like, ooh. Exit stage right.
Like Deliverance. Like
right. I don't know. I don't know. It's just that emotional attachment.
Yeah. And that's what music does. Music really gives emotional attachment to something or everything or anything, right? That's what it does. And it brings you to a point where it's like, man, again, music makes you remember, forget, get angry, get excited, motivates. I mean, music does a lot of different things, and that's the beauty of music. That's the beauty of the art. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I get upset when I hear certain music today that are just generically they're just making music just to make it, and it's not an art form.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I will take Earth, Wind, and Fire any day.
Absolutely. Listen, Earth, Wind, and Fire,
One of my
Kool and the Gang. I will listen.
Cameo.
Ow. Ow.
Even
that was my favorite part of it.
Even Rick James. Ow. Rick James. Bootsy Collins.
For the lady in the back that didn't know my name.
Iconic.
My name is Rick James.
But then we get all of these new artists these days that sample the greats.
Right.
And we have those greats to lean on.
Absolutely. Because they set a precedent. You know what I mean? Like they made, Al Green. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of... Oh, yes.
Yeah, but again, those are the songs that you just kind of lean on. You know what I'm saying? And just, do your thing. But, those heartbreak songs, you can't beat it.